If you put a big bird in a small cage, he sings, he says.
Can you tell me with what kind of feeling you started working on Wooden Arms?
Like what do you mean, like a kind of starting idea type thing?
Yeah.
I think our starting point was a kind of like a science fiction folk record.
Science fiction folk record. Can you explain that?
Well, I wanted something that was like, I had been watching a lot of Twilight songs at that point, like the old 1960s ones, and they used to have these like, sometimes these really beautiful, simple stories that just had this one really weird twist in it, but it was still really grounded at the same time, homey feeling. So I kind of wanted to build songs like that, you know, where that felt really home, like it would be like a folk song, or like something kind of a nice, simple song, but with always this little twist in it, you know, like kind of like the Twilight song.
So, okay, yeah. And you have a song on this record, A Big Bird in a Cage.
Small cage,
In
yeah.
a small cage, yeah. Do you feel like that sometimes?
No, that's just a true story. I was in the middle of Asia, and I went over to this musician's house, and he had this like hundreds of bird cages everywhere in the walls and ceilings, and except for this one like really big bird in a small cage. And I was like, why the hell do you put such a big bird in a small cage? He's like, you put a big bird in a small cage, he sings. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna write a song about that. 7 years later, yes, I did, you know.
It was 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, that story. But I've always vowed in my head, I'm like, fuck, one day I'm gonna write a song about that, because that's too weird, you know.
Yeah. Did you ask him why he did it?
Yeah, if you put a big bird in a small cage, he sings, he says.
Okay.
That was his answer.
Okay, yeah. And you sing that song with a lady. With who do you sing that song?
It was Katie Moore.
Katie Moore, okay. Yeah, why did
Actually, I wanted to ask Dolly Parton to do it originally.
Yeah?
So I wrote letters to Dolly Parton to see if she'd do it, but she never answered, so then I got Katie saying it.
Yeah, why did you wanted Dolly Parton in the first place?
'Cause she's kind of like the songbird of America. Would have been the perfect person to sing it.
Yeah. And why did you sing it now with the other lady?
Well, she has a very similar type of, not similar voice or tone, but if I wanted Dolly Parton, it would have been a good idea to ask her.
Yeah. Yeah. For your previous records, Close to Paradise, you traveled a lot. You did a lot of touring.
Mm-hmm.
During that tour, did you wrote some songs for this album as well?
I guess so. It's really hard to remember it like that. Beijing or home. I mean, after touring, we go to studios for a week at a time, and we write songs in the studio. I collect song ideas on the road more than write the songs. Like I'd have a couple of ideas and I'd write them down, and then when I get home, I'd have like a bank of lyrics to choose from and start working on. But we're not like in the van going, oh, I got this song idea, and you know, like sometimes on stage we do improvs and we'd find things. Like Tracy's Waters, we found it was an improv during an outdoor show. We just asked the audience for a song title, and that was kind of what we did. So Tracy's Waters was built on the stage. I wouldn't say that. I can't remember writing them on tour. I don't really look at it that way.
Okay, so we can see Wooden Arms as a representation of the last 3 years, the last.
For sure, in some ways, yeah. I mean, it's our life. We weren't really home much, so. But I mean, I wouldn't write songs about touring like, we get out of the van and we do sound check, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, it's like, then they go out for dinner, then we get home, and then we take out the gear off stage and back into the van, and then we go to a hotel, and it sucks, dun, dun, you know, like, I don't know. I think that's more
but I guess you meet a lot of strange people, and
yeah,
you
like,
see a
you know,
lot
like,
of
for example, the
places.
second half of Big Bird was a story from tour. We were in New Orleans, and we found this old little small little bar. So we just went there to have a couple of drinks at the end of the night, you know. We stayed there for a long time, so we were pretty loaded by then. And in the middle of the night, all these old blues musicians walked in, and they just played amazing music and blew our brains out, you know. And so and we met a lot of them, and we stayed all night with them until 6 in the morning. So I mean, that would be a tour story, you know. So you know, so yeah. That's an example.
Okay.